Yo, what up, everybody? This is Dom Root, and I'm here with Recap 2020, featuring one of my good friends, my boy B, who I'll be bringing up here very soon. But if you don't know, be sure to check out him on IG at MyBoyB. Visit the website, myboyb.com. Man, this dude's a renaissance man in terms of just what he's able to do creatively, and then just the mind that he has in terms of business and just the eye behind the lens. It's just so many different things, which we'll learn a little bit more about tonight. But he's been a great resource for the I Am Root brand. For me personally, I got connected to him through another friend, Johnny Rios. So the AZ community has always been rich in connecting others and just kind of just building. So it's been great. Being connected to what he's had going on from the various events that he's put on to just collaborating with us to put on the Velvet Room, which was like pretty much one of our most successful nights in terms of both creatively and in terms of actually putting on a show. So I'm very excited to do Recap 2020 with my boy B, and I want to thank you all for checking out our stream. If you're checking it out now or if you'll be checking it out a little later, thank you very much. 2020 was a very interesting year, and we're going to talk a little bit about it and then, pass on some good energy heading into 2021. So, yeah, let's bring in my boy B. What up, sir?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, everybody?
So, what's life like, man, on the East Coast? Where are you, Baltimore?
No, I'm in the DMV, but I'm about 40 minutes away from Baltimore, right a little bit north of DC as a whole, right in
Okay.
Rockville. Yeah, man, it's
So, I
cool. It's
mean,
cool there.
you grew up in AZ, right?
No, I didn't grow up in AZ. Military brat growing up, so
Ah,
we
okay.
did that whole bouncing around thing. We was moving and moving. But
Mm-hmm.
what happened was the pops when he retired, he had just knew some people in AZ,
Okay.
and he was like, "Hey, okay, there's a base out there. We can kind of do that thing, get a little bit close, and call that home." So as
Yeah.
soon as he did that, he just pretty much retired with everything, and we just kept pushing right there, and it was home base ever since.
Okay. 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 And the only reason why I bring that up is because, like, where I met you was AZ, and it's hot out here, and it's probably hella
Man,
cold where you are right now. So,
Ooh,
how are you managing that difference?
man, it's definitely a difference. Everywhere I go, everyone definitely can tell I'm from the West Coast. I'm not dressed right. I'm not in the mindset of where we are, like
Yeah.
any of that. But like the weather is definitely one of the things I have to get mad adjusted to. I had to get my jackets. I had to get jackets, bust
Right.
out
Different kind
sweaters,
of
long
jackets. Yeah.
sleeves. You don't need that in Arizona like that. If you do, it's for a couple of weeks and you're packing it back away.
Right. Yeah. 100%. Because I'm a West Coast kid through and through. And, like, my girl, I went out to Chicago with her last year.
Yeah.
And, bro, like, I thought I was just going to do like a hoodie jean jacket kind of combo. And nah, they had me just go on and order something, order the
Real
right type
quick.
of equipment. Yeah, so it was no joke. We pulled up and it was like 8 degrees, bro. And like I lived in Virginia when I was a kid, but like I don't remember too much. I knew it was cold, but like as an adult experiencing that 8 degrees, it's just like, man, I don't want
Man,
to be outside. I just want to look
it's
at
a
it from the
whole different
window. Like
cold though. It
one
really
hundred
is.
percent.
It's funny you said someone made you just stop and order something because that's exactly what happened out here. As soon as I got out, I was like, hold on, I don't have the right stuff.
Yeah.
I need some order something, but I need it to come like now.
Right,
Otherwise, I'm not
right,
leaving the house.
right. I was watching some comedian. I forget who it was, like Bill Burr or somebody, but they were just talking about how no, it wasn't. It was a black comedian, but essentially the joke or what he was talking about was like he was just like people in Chicago or in these cold places be wearing like the same equipment that people climb Mount Everest with. You know what I mean?
Real life stuff. Bro, I'm
It's
telling
like, yo,
you,
you need
you
them
just be
jackets,
looking out
them
the
coats.
window. Oh my goodness, bro. It's real though. It's definitely real. Like they come in the cold fronts. We just had our first snow about like last week.
Oh
And sure
man,
enough, you kind of look out the window, you're like, is it snowing? You open the door, you're like, oh yeah, it's snowing right now.
right,
Get out
right,
like 2 hours, yeah, it's all over the ground and all that.
right. So how's that been for like fashion inspiration for you?
It's completely different. It's completely different. Like I had to not necessarily change the style, but it's essentially like how you utilize the clothing and the garments that you have on. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You really gotta layer up. You know what I'm
layer
saying?
up.
But at
Yeah,
the same time though, you don't want to be moving in and out of places. You want to get hot once you're inside.
right.
You know, and you want to have some boots or you're gonna have like some shoes or something. Maybe it's gonna be raining all day. Maybe it's gonna be raining all night. So
Yeah,
you gotta have, be a little bit prepared for that, even just, for where the weather is just gonna go. So it
yeah.
definitely, you have to be a little more versatile with it. but at the same time though, it's more of like in preparation. You kind of have like something that's like, okay, I'm prepared for it.
Yeah.
So you get a chance to kind of flex a little bit, kind of play with the layers, to play with some colors, some top on the bottom. Yeah, it definitely plays with the versatility a lot.
Oh, that's dope. Cause I know like when you were out here, you like some of the little, the artwork you would show me would definitely be fall looks, and
Yeah,
where layers are like needed, and out
yeah,
here we don't have that large of a time frame to pull that off, like
no, straight up.
especially
Straight
back to
up.
back. So, I was pretty interested in, knowing like, how you were taking that change given like I've seen some of your work and like the fall shit looks really dope and you like you can pull that off, so I feel like being out there
Yeah,
in the cold really
I'm
allows your
soaking it
mind to
in.
go like crazy. Yeah.
Soaking it in. Every time I get a chance, I'm like, okay, pull this, rock this, rock this. What's this with this underneath? Okay,
Right.
maybe I'm doing short sleeve with something longer. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely up my lane. It's definitely up my lane for sure.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. So yeah, man, let's try to throw out here a couple of topics. I know that you were saying that you got some from IG. Some of the people chimed in. Did you want to start with some of those, or you want to pull
Yeah.
from what I
Well,
got over here? What you
I
thinking?
mean, I got two quick ones. So we can
Okay.
definitely maybe do those two quick ones for now, then maybe say the other one for later. We can
Okay.
kind of revert back to that one. But I know someone was actually out there was very wanted to know my inspiration for even moving out here, and also top three reasons of even what I've learned from out here and what am I absorbing from out here.
Yeah.
Just as an Arizonan coming
Right.
out to the DMV, literally just from my car. But like the main reason I came out here personally was just to be honest, I just love like the change of environment. I think it was just a good to have like a nice little change of pace and be able
Mhm.
to see new things and be able to embrace new people, new environments, new atmospheres. Just to have just newness around it. I feel like a lot can come from that newness. But like I know one thing that I really love out here, the colors.
Mhm.
Oh my God. The
Oh, right.
foliage and just like lined, like the freeway is just lined with trees and there's like a huge park over there. And oh my goodness,
Right.
I loved it.
You could take actual scenic routes.
Bruh, it's wild. And it's crazy out here too, because like same things because it's so like historic, everything's like close but not close. Everything has like four different ways you can get to the same place
Mhm.
because everything's been here for just so long. It's
Right.
just, road here, road there, road another on top of that, road on top of that. And then at
Yeah.
the same time, like people are just be in the cut, just like a whole little city is just like past those trees and they got everything they need over there and they good. And it's just a whole little city that's just moving and thriving. It's cool. It's really cool to see.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. I'm
It is.
glad it's working out, man. Cause like moving could be a big change, but as long as you like getting connected with like the community and you feeling like a part of like what's happening, like that's a good feeling.
Yeah, most definitely. I met some great people out here. I definitely know I've met some lifelong friends out here for sure. And I'm trying to get them to come out to AZ, come out there, check us on the West Coast.
Right,
You know what
right.
I'm
See what's
saying?
going on.
Hey,
Yes, sir. Okay.
definitely.
Okay. You said you had one more from them from
Yeah,
online?
I mean, they were just kind of just bringing up, some of my inspirations, or at least kind of like,
Okay.
what inspired me to come out here.
Yeah.
And as far as like my top three reasons, top three, things I've taken in. Definitely the foliage and the scenic. I love the scenic.
Okay.
Like that's just a whole wild thing. And then also, like I said, the people and the environments is just where it is and how people just live and operate.
Yeah.
That's yeah, it's just a brand new thing to embrace. But one thing I also love to, and one thing I know I've taken advantage of being out here is the not saying like the community, but just like how much you can really like bounce in between states, different environment. Like you can really just go up to New York, it's 4 hours away, Philadelphia, a couple hours away, Virginia,
Right.
40 minutes away. Like and I'm in Maryland. But yeah, Virginia and DMV or DC is, literally driving distance.
Driving
Yeah.
distance, right? So you could just be tapped into multiple like groups of people or just like different types of energy, in terms of like
Everywhere.
what's going on here and what's going on there. You just a freeway ride away.
Really, real life.
Yeah, that's
Real
tight.
life.
That's tight. Well, one thing, man, that it's probably not the most how would I put it? It's not the lightest mood topic, but one thing that happened in 2020 to kick our year off, man, was the loss of Kobe Bryant, which was extremely tough, for tons of people in this world.
Extremely tough.
I loved Kobe, just growing up in Inglewood. We had the Forum right there. Then
Oh,
they moved to Staples, the whole three-peat, era. Like, it was just huge. I used to hit those parades, man, selling water and candy. It was like a huge part of my upbringing, just coming up and looking
yeah.
up to that man and watching that transition. So
Oh my
that was a
goodness.
tough one.
That was so tough. I remember how I even found out. I feel like that was one of those situations where it was like, you remember the moment you found out?
Right, yeah.
Like, I really do. I remember someone was telling me, I had 100% didn't believe him. Like, huh?
Right,
No,
yeah, no,
no,
exactly.
no.
I was online for like 20 minutes straight, man, just like looking for sources. Like,
Looking for source, looking for someone to tell me it's not true,
like,
looking for
yeah,
something to say it's hold on, everybody, just, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
what was one of your favorite Kobe moments, man?
Honestly, I used to like Afro Kobe, man. Just like
Hey.
just watching him hoop and like young Kobe, like that was just like some of my fondest moments of just like and then just also just seeing him grow, from like that to like just getting ready to run like a league and like just like
Yeah.
uplifting the next group of people and like paying attention to young women in basketball and like just like just like that whole aspect of just like watching the life go from ups and downs and like just like just fighting and that hunger, that energy, like coming up you always that mama mentality is something that developed a lot later, but you could definitely like tell like yo, this dude's driven, like when you're out here shooting or like whatever
Yeah,
starting to ball up, it's like it carried a lot of weight when you were looking
it,
up to somebody like that. So
it really did. It really did. And he's definitely one of those dudes, one of those people, one of those spirits that's just gonna last on forever, forever. You're gonna be able to tap into that spirit, and you're gonna be able to feel it. You know what I'm saying? You're
right,
gonna be able to like feel like Black Mamba's in me right now. It's around me, like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm
right.
feeling it. And like that's a very unique position for some person to be in, but even for just for some being to get to that point, that resonates a lot, and that vibration means a lot.
Right, right. But so transitioning to like somewhere else in terms of what 2020 was and some things that happened in 2020. Like in January, people were still out and about, like because he passed with January 26th. February, like people were still like doing stuff. Super Bowl happened, like still a lot
Yeah.
of emotion. Like what were there? So right before like the whole quarantine and like COVID became like a serious issue in the U.S. and like we began the shutdowns and like beginning all of that. Like, were you plotting on like just like doing some stuff and did that
Man,
ruin any plans for you?
the ultimate disruptor was COVID-19. Just crashed all ideas. I
Right,
know when I came out here, my whole thing was even just moving into like the event production scene, and the event production avenue
right,
was how I wanted to do. So you better believe I was in the works with
yeah,
something. We hooked up with a nice venue, some of my friends, and we was already planning on something at this place called The Block.
right,
And we was gonna turn that bad boy out, bro. We was about to do it. We had a
right,
nice little runway set up. We're gonna have a couple different styles set up. And then even just some of my friends that had met out here, he's a musician and really trying to tap into his musical base. And he was going to have an opportunity to perform with new people in an
yeah,
environment where it's just going to be embraceful and creative. Very much so the things that we've created out in Arizona, you know what I'm saying, be able to tap into that same spirit out here.
right,
So it was ready to run right into that, right
right.
into
Here
that.
we
And at the
go.
same time, we were working on projects as far as just like my personal photography, just being able to, be sold online and working with other people to be able to broadcast how they things that they're doing in DMV and Washington. Let's make it out here to
Right.
Arizona. Be the people in Arizona out here to. Oh man, it was all working, and then March.
Yeah,
And then
a
March
hundred
hit.
percent. Like, and it was tough, and being out here in AZ, like they were taking it light, bro. Like,
Who
like
you telling?
right, because like we had a show booked through the city of Tempe, and we were supposed to run it like April, the second week of April or something like that, and yeah, like it was like maybe 3 days before they hit us up, like yeah, we're probably not gonna go ahead and do this. So
Yeah,
it was just like I mean, I figured it was gonna happen. Don't get me wrong. I was prepping all the performers. Like we signed a contract to like be present, but I imagine like with all the stuff that's going on is like they're gonna end up like not having to go through with it.
You
So
know,
it just got me in that mindset of figuring stuff out. Like I started, really just like thinking like, dang, all right, when it comes to shows, like that's how I Am Rude, essentially makes its money is like from live shows. But the things we
yeah,
don't do that many of them. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we have a show every week or every 2 weeks for that matter. And some of our shows are just free open mics as well. So it's just like,
mhm,
you know, it forced me to kind of really just think about the bread, honestly, because like a
yeah,
lot of the time, like we could do a show and we'll be all right for a little bit because like we try not to do too much to where we got to spend too much because it's not too much capital to play around with at this time. But it's just like
yeah,
in terms of just like, oh, we could do this real quick and bring the community together and like,
yeah,
profit from it. At times like it works out for us. But with
yeah,
this whole thing, it was just like, yo, all right, we had a gig signed up through the city, like it was legit. It was gonna, be income, but then that
yeah,
ended up being like no income, and it was just kind of tough because that was something that we were banking on to set us up for a couple weeks or months or whatever that we were planning to do. So
yeah, man.
yeah, it definitely caused us to buckle down. What would be like a I'm trying to think of like what was a like the first few things that you did, because like everybody, it seemed that the world went crazy in terms of hitting the stores and like you feel
Man.
like you couldn't get shit, or it's just like what some of the first things that you just like was like, oh shit, I need to do this, or I need to do
Yeah, definitely hit the liquor store. Like
that. Right.
immediately was just like, hold on,
Yeah.
let me stay in the house for how long? Like, wait,
You
what?
feel me?
But at the same time, though, even just moving out here with my sister, I moved into it with family, but we had to prepare, so it's definitely got to go hit the stores at some point. You know what I'm saying? It was just like,
Right.
we're gonna have to do that, but yeah, we should have jumped on that a little bit earlier because we was definitely hurt. But like, it was honestly, like you said, it was in a sense of just pivoting of how to kind of maneuver next. It's like, what do I do next? That whole awe and that whole punch in the gut was just like, okay, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna
Right.
figure out? So just even just like the essentials of just hitting the store, just finding some things just to elongate sometimes, and just being in the house. Just feeling that time was just like, okay, let's do that. But then we just sure enough just end up just watching TV. Things just kind of pass, and it's like, okay, this is we're fine, we're fine.
Yeah.
And then it was just be stuck. All of a sudden it's like, damn, we just sitting here just watching a lot of TV, or
Right.
just taking a lot of walks and be going outside and doing some things like that. But I definitely know, at the beginning, I was definitely trying to tap in, do some creative aspects. I really went into my photography. At first I was out and about. I was really trying to do anything and everything and kind of fill the space, fill the time.
Yeah.
Until the time just passed over. Then we kind of continue what we were doing. That was the mindset, at least.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Pretty much same for me. It was just like look up, research, like what the hell is going on, as much as
yeah,
as that's available, and like you know, I didn't have to end up working from home, but my lady did. So just like kind of transitioning parts of the crib and like running cables for internet and just like really just like transitioning that part, and
yeah,
just like from the business side of things, for me, it was just like, all right, well, we ain't gonna be doing those shows, but I need to really just spend this time looking internally. You know what I'm saying? I just was like, yo, this is like a gift and a curse, hoping that I stay safe and healthy and like all of that throughout it. Obviously this is early on, but I'm just like, man, like if I could really, you know, like take advantage, because I'm a homebody, like low key. I don't like doing
yeah,
too
yeah.
much. Like when I was like coming up in high school and like early, like in college and like even a little bit after college, like like it was real lit. So it was just like for
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
bro. I'm just like, all right, I need to. I was always doing both, what I'm saying? And like, a lot of the discipline now is kicking in. It's like, all right, I could be knocking out X amount of videos right now, and then,
yeah,
so it's just more of a balance where it's just like, I'm trying to find times to turn up, what I'm saying? Instead of like that being my focus, not against whatever, but that's just me. But all of that to, all of that to say is just like, I enjoy being home, like, what I'm saying? Because I
yeah,
can just like work on my music. I could like, research how to edit something better or just like do whatever. So, I was just like, man, I could just be here cooking up projects and I'm gonna come out of
man.
this mug with albums and like, just
Right.
like whatever. Like my brain is just going in 100 different places and, you
Straight
know,
up.
but a lot of it just resulted in a lot of like self-reflection and just like relaxation, because like when it
Really
wasn't
did.
this stuff going on, like I was like on go mode. It's like gotta plan a show, gotta connect here, gotta hit this person up, gotta set up this interview, gotta. I had to do so much shit, what I'm saying, where this shit really just sat me down and like allowed me to be like, yo, just work on yourself, or like take it easy, like what I'm saying, it just really slowed you down a bit.
It's funny you say that. At least you can lead into that because I feel like, at the beginning of how we kind of just started in a sense of, how it's kind of like everything just shut down, at least kind of stopped at like a sudden, sudden halt. And we, what you were kind of saying, what I was kind of alluding to was just like, we needed something to fill that time, do some stuff. In the beginning, I come off the album, I can come up with this. How do I do this? How do I do this? And I feel like everyone had that energy in the beginning where it's just like, I need to fill this time. So let me do the things I've been meaning to do, or at least being able, the time that I needed to get on, I have that now.
Right.
But at the same time, like you said, it ultimately led to a lot of reflection in the sense of like, what are those favorite things that I want to do? The stuff that I was, holding off on. Do I even really need to do it? Like, is that not that I didn't like it, or is it like, how is it really helping me? It was
Yeah.
just something for social media, or it's just something just cause, or I'm saying, the reason of why things started to be and started to clarify itself in a lot of different ways, because I feel like that energy of just like, okay, let me do it, because now I have the time. Now you had the time to really think about it. And it was just like, you know what? I don't even really know why I was doing this in the first place. But yet, let me focus my attention into something that like I really like doing. And I actually want to do that a lot more. I actually want to, continue this and actually let me get better in this part.
Yeah.
And a lot of things really started to fall off, or at least kind of like come off, what I'm saying? Really start to alleviate itself at that point.
Right. No,
Especially
100%, 100%. Yeah,
yeah,
I
especially
definitely shared it a couple. You said special what? Especially
in
what?
the beginning.
Oh, in the beginning, yeah, yeah. I
Mhm.
definitely, knocked off a couple of just added, like tasks that I had that weren't necessarily helping me like advance much. It was just things that I kept doing. Not that I had to do it, but I just was like committing my time to these things that while, COVID wasn't around, like I was just
Yeah.
doing it, just thinking like, yo, this is, I don't know, experience or just getting better. And during that process, I was like, man, I don't have to. I could be focusing here or whatever kind of, just running off of what you were just saying. That really rings true. But yeah, man, on the topic of just like being at the crib and like this whole self reflection thing, I feel like in terms of entertainment, like the streaming networks and the streaming platforms, like I feel like they got bread. If
Man,
other
they
industries didn't get money, bro, like they're eating. Like even Amazon, with the whole. I'm pretty sure people was delivering like ordering like crazy. So we can touch on Amazon a little later. But were there any like shows or anything that had you glued like throughout
man,
quarantine that
I
got
was
you through?
tapped into everything, like on not say on social media. Well, yeah, social media for sure. Actually,
Yeah.
yeah, what was I saying to say? Definitely social media. But even just as far as just like just streaming platforms, anything I could find online, anything I could read, anything I could just participate in, all
Yeah.
of that. I definitely found some new shows. I'm not much of like a Netflix person unless it's like documentary based, or like information based, or really creative or inspirational stuff like that. But I do know there was the Ozarks was
Ozarks.
one
Okay.
show I
Yeah.
definitely tapped into. Was like, hey, okay, this that boy is moving,
Right.
moving. And then even later on, it comes to the boys. The boys was one that was pretty hot.
Okay.
I was mentioning it's like that whole idea of just how superheroes is turned into like a business, and they run like a business. So it's just like they're in the business of helping people. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that whole
Right.
idea of just how that even works is just wild.
Right.
So
It's like
like people used to tap into stuff.
competition to the police on the low, or
Kind of, sort of. The thing is, I don't know if you watch the show. Like, if you tap in, this is like, if you think about it, not even the police, like the government
oh, like
might
yo,
be my
idea of it,
assistant.
like
If you
yo,
don't think
yeah,
about it, like I can help everybody. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So it's just like it's wild. It's actually pretty crazy, and like it goes 0 to 100 real quick, just like the Ozarks. The Ozarks was zooming
right,
pretty
yeah. No, I'm
heavy.
not gonna
Yeah.
lie, like just cause like the energy that he has, and then in the industry that he's in, it's just like so.
Bruh,
Like
no
I don't know
game.
if he was built for this, but like he finding a way, like
Yeah.
to
And I don't
just
think he knew he was built for it either.
right. He just finessing and like getting it. So yeah, I definitely had on my list of things that I checked out.
Yeah.
Um, a couple of ones that I had. I don't know if it was more so for the like the funny, but Space Force was had me cracking up. And
Space Force,
that has
hilarious. Hilarious, bro.
man,
I watched all of that in like 2 days, a day and a half.
right, no, for sure, bro. Like, yeah, just watch that right away. I don't know if you watched Black AF, Black as Fuck, but
Yep,
that was kind of funny. I rocked with it a
that
little bit.
was that was
Schitt's Creek is a funny one as well.
interesting.
Yeah, so I don't got the people's names that's in it, but it's just a fun family dynamic. This family that was like well off and rich and shit, but ended up losing it all and kind of just trying to uphold like this whole I'm still rich and wealthy, but like they kind
Yeah.
of live and manage this motel, and it's just all comedy. Honestly, it's just
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
interactions between the
Comedy in
family.
that.
Um, Another one was
You watch Tiger King?
Tiger King. Yes, sir.
Tiger
I
King.
feel
Oh
it.
my
Yeah, bro. That was
goodness.
polarizing. You feel me? Everybody like had heard
That
about
was
Carol Baskins and this Tiger King dude, bro, for
he
sure.
clearly killed her husband.
Right? Like, come
Like
on, bro. It's just like,
who's she fooling? Like, come on now.
hundred
Come on
percent.
now. But it's just crazy, like how they were just living, how they were just like, how just life just felt right to them. It's just like, really, this is right. This, you sure? Like, but to each his own, I guess.
Absolutely. Let me see. Another one I had on here was some of the ones because like I don't know. Did you watch Power when it was on?
You know what? I saw in bits and pieces of it, but I didn't get a chance to like continue it. No.
So a couple of like the spinoffs that came after like that main one ended was like For Life, which came on ABC, and then it's like Power Book 2 Ghost, and it's basically
Yeah.
like the son, his come up, and I don't know, man. I feel like they did pretty well because mostly when you think of like the spinoffs or whatever, they be kind of average or lacking in certain areas, but those two definitely came through in terms of like the content and then the entertainment value for
That's
me.
good. That's
Another one I
good.
had on here was Self Made, which was a movie on Netflix about Shirley Chisholm. So yeah, it's pretty dope, man. It was a good year, I think, for just like the streaming platforms. There's probably plenty of stuff that we definitely didn't name. It looked like we got about 5 or 6 people on YouTube right now. So if y'all got any that we missed, feel free to drop those in the comments of just like dope
Yeah.
shows or anything that you caught yourself watching in the whole quarantine season or 2020, just stuff that was nice for you. It may not have been popular, but you liked it, or maybe it was popular and you didn't like it, but you just want to drop it in the comments, let us know.
Yeah, definitely. There was one too I remember catching. It was something on Madam C.J. Walker. I don't
Oh
know if
yeah, yeah, that's it. I said the wrong name. Yep.
was that
So that's it.
self-made.
That's self-made. It's not Shirley
That was
Chisholm. It's
self-made. It's
Madam
funny
C.J.
because I was just
Walker. Yeah.
like, I feel like one thing was
When I
like,
said it out my mouth, it sounded wrong. I'm like, nah, that ain't it, bro. But
but that one was dope though. It was like her
yeah,
perspective, her tenacity, her like,
yeah,
what
and
I'm
then just
saying? That's the way she just took, criticism was like people trying to put her down. You know what I'm saying? It was
yeah,
just
and then the whole taking of her idea and like competition and just it was crazy.
it is.
It was
It
crazy.
is.
But I like, when I mean, I don't know obviously how the family felt, but I just for me like just receiving that kind of information and perspective, it kind of helps like keep those figures alive for us. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
like those stories, those narratives just need to continue to be excuse me, this damn beer, bro. Continue to be passed down, so that we can continue to, understand like as we grow and build as people, like understanding where we came from and the things that people had to endure. Like those stories truly help people like get by. Me understanding event planners before me, or like music producers before me, and like the things that they had to go through helps me navigate,
Yeah.
so that I'm not out here feeling like, oh, I'm the first guy to ever do this, or I'm the first guy to run into these problems. Like if I pay attention to the people that came before me, I could at least learn something from those stories. It may be different
Yeah.
because of the times that we in, but like you can at least gain a bit more perspective and understanding for sure.
Yeah, times may be different, but the human mind and the human, tenacity and personalities, those translate. You know what I'm saying? Those move through the times, regardless of whatever you got to deal with. Someone who's passionate about something is going to be passionate, whether it was year zero or year 2021. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna come through. It's gonna come through.
Right, right, right. And then what do we have on here? What about are you? So you play basketball in high school. So who's your team? You have a squad in basketball?
Yeah, man, my sons, bro.
Sounds okay.
Sons
Okay, I
definitely
wasn't
the
sure. I wasn't
squad.
sure. I
I
wasn't
mean, I'm
sure.
definitely so I grew up a Pistons fan because my pops was like all Detroit. So all Detroit,
Okay.
Michigan teams, all of those are definitely the main ones.
Yeah.
But like, my personal hometown from moving around so much is Phoenix. I'm from the West
Right.
Coast. So you know what I'm saying? So definitely the Phoenix Suns. Gotta hit that.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I definitely have to do that. And I know you
Okay.
saw like the bubble. But it
Yeah.
was killing in the bubble. That
That
was
was
during
that was
quarantine.
actually sad, bro. Like the way y'all was balling, like went undefeated in the bubble, and that
Why were
like
we even there? Why
you
were we even
know
there?
the
We went all
West
the
is just too
game.
ridiculous. Yeah, it
Man,
was just too ridiculous. Too many teams that are like could actually make a run and like like not
yeah,
maybe make it to the all the way, but like at least they just filling up spots. Like it's
yeah,
hard to get a
for real
seat
though.
to get to the next level because
For real
everybody
though.
around the same in terms of record and stuff.
Yeah, that bubble ball was different though. That during quarantine,
Right.
that bubble ball was different.
Yeah, it
It really
was.
did. It was like it honestly, it really leveled out the playing crowd. Like or the yeah, like you had the superstars or gonna do them regardless. But
Yeah.
like when you're hearing about people, I'm saying, coming off the bench, you're hearing people coming off the bench hitting, you had TJ Warren who was with the Suns, he went to the Pacers, all of a sudden it's like leading the whole bubble in points scored.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you see
Yeah.
all these things because I really think what happened was it alleviated the stress and the pressure of
Okay.
just the crowd. You know what I'm saying? And that really just resonated on the court itself. So what you were watching, what you were seeing was like the players actually at the highest of their level. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
because people are like you have 15 people max to a roster. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Even be out there on the NBA team is you got to be at a high level, like real high level. And you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden someone's out there averaging 2 points, when there's a full stadium. And now all of a sudden he's averaging, 11, or he might be averaging 8 or something like that in the bubble. Like it just immediately leveled it out real quick. And
Right.
I feel like it made it a lot harder. But at the same time, though, I feel like you saw basketball at a very high level at that point because everyone had an opportunity to really just do them.
Yeah, that's true, man. When you limit the distractions and it's no fans yelling, "Hey!" sloshing beer everywhere. Like you could just really
I
be on that corner three and wait for your time to shine. You know.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you're like, imagine like a home court, you know what I'm saying? Because we watched the playoffs, right? So imagine home court, that game 7,
Right.
teams down 2-0. It's like
Right.
that home court, the stadium is literally
Rocking.
shaking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
shaking. If you're on the other team, that's a lot to overcome. But
Right.
like
For
being able
sure.
to be in the bubble, that wasn't there. And I feel
Right.
that's why we saw a lot of games be a lot closer. Things had to be a little bit evened out.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's even why the NFL started so flat. Like it was
Yeah,
hard. They were trying to pump in fake noise, but like that's hard to recreate. Like because
it
like
is.
it's just energy transfers. When you try to like give synthetic energy into something that people are used to it being like authentic. Like there's you
Straight
hit
up.
a shot and like that adrenaline, and then hearing the crowd like go crazy, like the timing of it all is
Man,
just it's just different, and
it
not to
is
say that I've
different.
hit no threes in those moments, but like I've definitely played high school football and like made a big play and like hurt the stands go crazy, and like and I'm looking at my teammates and we're all just like in that moment like going nuts, like what that feels like versus having to not fake it but like just sell it a bit more because now it's like the
Yeah.
cameras are there, so people are at home watching, but it's just a little different.
It was definitely different. That bubble ball was definitely different.
Yes, sir. Let me see what we got here.
Yeah, man. The whole quarantine was just wild, to be honest. The whole thing was just a huge wave. And it just kept kind of crashing, and it would kind of resettle and crash again. It was
Right.
just new ideas, new moments, new experiences, all
For
of that,
sure, man. I
all
think
of
I don't think I've watched the news more or just like, checked for news more. I wouldn't necessarily say just watched the news, but like, just like tapped into like
yeah,
news media outlets more in a year than I did in 2020, bro. Like I was looking, up so much shit and like just trying to
yeah,
figure out like, just yo, what's going on here? Like, yo, what the numbers are, here. Just it was wild, bro. I was
It
definitely
was. The
tapped into.
whole rotation was just, yeah, it was just things that were happening on, I felt like on a 2 hour basis. It was things were updating, something new here, an update on this. And then, something happened in a whole other country. And like, yeah, it was just things were just, it was just wild during quarantine.
Yeah,
It was
and then
wild.
we get like the death of George Floyd, and then that just pretty much turns the heat up everywhere. You know what I'm saying, in terms of the U.S. and other countries, and just the outpour of like support, and obviously it came with a lot of like additional stuff, just like in the streets in terms of just like buildings and looting and stuff like that. But like that
Man,
time was like a real, interesting time of year given, what was already going on,
yeah,
and, how, you know, everybody's emotions were. It was a real sensitive time, what I'm saying, in terms of just being a person in the US, black person,
yeah,
like a white person, just like understanding where you stand in this world. And like some people, on one side of it had to kind of look at themselves and figure out like, all right, what actions am I taking that contributes to systematic racism, and
straight up.
it was, yeah. So I'd imagine, bro, like, it wasn't, um, it wasn't the most joyous time, but I feel like it's definitely historic in terms of just like what we'll be able to tell our children and our children's children. You know, what I'm saying that what 2020 was, and
Yeah.
how things were moving.
No, 100. I mean, how even do you think it was kind of taking place in Arizona? I mean, I know things were kind of just, countrywide, and everyone was having, their own demonstrations and their own, experiences with them participating and whatnot. In
Yeah, I
DC,
see a boy in the
DMV,
comments, I believe. My bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just saw.
I don't know.
I think that's is it Breezy? You said is that his name?
I
How
think,
you
yeah, yeah,
pronounce that?
yeah. Yeah, it's
Okay, yeah, I
breezy.
see him in the comment with the hundreds,
That's
dropping some
breezy.
hundreds for us. What up? What up?
My guys, my guys. Those are definitely my guys. I know my guy Titus Breezyho, and then my homie AD.
Yes,
Oh
sir.
yeah, those are both my guys out here. We
Okay,
both set up for the future for sure.
okay, okay.
But yeah, man, like yeah, it's just so how do you kind of feel like what's been happening like in Arizona as far as how that kind of took place and the whole movement of the I guess when you said the movement of how it was actually happening and what transpired in that time.
Yeah, I feel like, man, Arizona is like it's a place that's definitely like moving upward. You know what I'm saying, in terms of just like being a little more like tapped in with like the culture, and like being able to respond to things. So it's not everybody, but like the Phoenix metro area like is pretty, I don't want to say woke, but like what I'm saying, they're paying attention to like what's going on. So they were out and about, like what I'm saying, trying to make their stance in the streets just in solidarity with what was
Yeah,
all going on in the community, what I'm saying. But just watching people in little pockets of communities organize, given that it was an election year, like I just really saw people come together and try to plot and strategize on how to make change in their communities, what I'm saying, starting small, what I'm saying, not trying to do too massive of things, but just creating their little pockets of communities and figuring out like, yo, what things can we be doing,
yeah,
to contribute, or what things can we be doing to make it better. So that was pretty inspiring for me, because like I got tapped in with Ashton, who came up with the SKU
yeah,
project, which stood for Stop Killing Us, and it was
mhm.
like he brought together damn near 20 artists, musicians,
Man,
poets, rappers, vocalists to
it was
kind of
beautiful to see.
give their
I saw that
perspective.
all over here, man. I saw that all over here, and I was so inspired. I was like, oh my goodness, Ashton, let's go,
Right,
let's
yeah. And
go.
I was
So
just
excited
praying for that, brother, because I'm like, man, trying to get 20 of anybody together for anything
for
is
anything,
tough, bro. But like,
real
and then once he went and wanted to do the video for it too, it was just like, all right, we taking it to the next level. And, it just really kind of put things in perspective for me in terms of like just the people out here in the community, like what they're willing to do, what kind of stances they're willing to take, because like,
yeah,
at the, it's the music industry. So in terms of that part, would it be in music and artists or whatever? So it's like some people could always feel like, yo, I need my money out of this, or I'm only in it for, these few reasons. But for people to kind of be selfless and like, yo, here's my perspective, here's, my take on this whole stop killing us thing, and
Yeah.
I'm willing to put in for, the
That was
greater
beautiful.
cause of this, because like I don't know, like if that's been done in Phoenix, you know what I'm saying? So not saying that like everybody on there is like the greatest artist of Phoenix and that's all it should represent, but it's just like, yo, these artists in Phoenix came together and tried to do something for the culture, and hopefully that inspires other people to start using their voices or like their leverage, if you will, because Ashton's dope, and and a lot of people know him, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
Exactly.
who better to like call this up, and say, yo, let me get a producer, other musicians, and like we can do this, y'all, because like he's from
Yep.
the city, he's well loved in the city, and it was something that he made possible. So in terms of like responding to shit, like Az, and not that my opinion matters overall, but like I was pretty satisfied in just like watching people respond. Like of course some people are gonna want more people to do things and this and that, but I just felt like in totality, like people were just like paying attention and like using their voices and calling
Yeah.
shit out if they experience like some kind of
Yeah.
like bullshit behavior somewhere. You know what I'm saying? They just not accepting no more BS and like, but just saying, just being controlled and respectable. You know what I'm saying, in
Straight
terms
up.
of like expressing like what demands are, what demands they have, or like like it was real well informed, and it was real like I wouldn't say everybody was on the same page, but everybody was like researching and trying to find what they can contribute, and that was pretty beneficial.
Nah, most definitely. And it was good to see. It was good to see, even just from the outside looking in. I knew, most of the artists that were participating, but to be able to kind of see something that was put together, as a whole, to represent the culture, to be able to be something that was to be inspirational and to be passed forward, and to see the people put it together. You know what I'm saying? From the outside, it was just like it was awesome to see. It was cool. I was definitely proud of y'all. I'm definitely
Right?
all proud.
Yeah.
I definitely I was all up in Ashton's DMs, just
Right.
giving them
Yeah.
motivation, giving them power, giving them blessings, all of that. And I was definitely receiving it all the way across the country, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, just more of that. Like not to say that we got to wait for the death of another person, but like just finding more ways to bring people together and attach ourselves to causes if that's what we feel that we need to do, or just find ways to keep being effective and being
Yeah,
innovators in terms of like using music, our voices, and kind of our position in the community, because like
sir.
in a way, with the I Am Root brand, us doing events and stuff, like we've gotten, numerous DMs throughout, like, this whole break about when we coming back, or like, like
Right.
what we got up our sleeve and what we're trying to do, and a lot of that. So, that's to say that, given that we got people checking up on us, it's just like the things that we do in the community, the moves that we make, people are paying attention to, and they either inspired by or they're looking out for it. So it's just, you never really know. Like, I didn't really think too many people was checking for us, but once we go MIA for a few months and we get a couple messages, it's like, oh, all right,
Right.
for sure, it
Right.
kind of helps
Exactly.
readjust that focus a bit.
It really does. It really does. Gives you the opportunity to really see about your chances and where you're at, and where you kind of said, I'm like, okay, this is something. I'm working on something good and beneficial.
Right, right. Let's switch over to a little. I mean, while we're talking about some music and that song "Skew," was there any like moments in music that stood out for you this year? Like any either performances that you saw, like live streamed, obviously, or maybe in person before we close down, or just like any songs that you've just been finding yourself playing a lot of, or any albums that dropped that you just really enjoyed?
I mean, overall, I was really just absorbing pretty much everything that was coming out. Anything I can honestly tap into is a little bit different, something a little bit new. Um, Something overall though, I know ever since I would probably say the beginning of like the summer, not necessarily quarantine, but like summer, the Afrobeat vibe has just been
Mm,
just running through my veins
smacking,
and will not stop. Like I can't
yeah,
stop listening to it. I just be moving, and like the way I just like it gets my energy heavy. It gets my energy just so hype. I was listening to the Wizkid album,
yeah. Okay.
and student Mr. Drew, that's pretty hot. But I was all up in like, I don't know, the weekend definitely count with something that was just on repeat. And then like, yeah, I was just bouncing around a lot. I was definitely hitting everything I could. Excuse me.
Right. Yeah, it's always a good time in terms of like how these algorithms are on like either Spotify, Apple Music, or whatever. Like, it's easy for us to just find some new shit to listen to.
Yeah.
Um, But so I'm always like just going to those little random playlists, and then if I find something I like, then I got my own little playlist that I use for the year, and I'm like
Yeah.
constantly just packing songs into there. I think I had like a lot of Brent Faiyaz, and I know Two Chains put out an album this past year, and
Yep.
a couple of
Two
like
Chainz.
the little Trippy Red songs. Like it's been some interesting time for music. I know the box for like Roddy Ricch went crazy.
Yeah, bro. I was definitely on a whole a whole vibe of just what I was absorbing. I know. I'm trying to think of like someone else's like that was different. I was really just taking in. I know Lil Baby was definitely someone. I know just homies just mentioned it. But like even
Oh
the
yeah,
Breezy
for
Ho.
sure.
It's
Yeah, I just
Breezy.
saw that he had the most sales for the year. Lil
Yeah, I mean, I
Baby, yeah.
saw that. He was definitely hitting. But like it was I was really got an opportunity to really just see some new flavors, some new stuff that I kind of want to try out and just check out everywhere. But I'm the huge, most definitely a Big Crit fan. So any
Big
type of Big
Crit,
Crit,
yes sir.
any type of Big Crit drop song, I'm all over that.
Right. Oh my god, my little Apple Music open right here just to see. Did you watch? I don't know if that was probably 2020. Rhythm and Flow. That's an I mean it's a Netflix show, so I don't know if you probably copped it. It was like with Chance, Cardi, and Ti.
No, I didn't. I
So
heard about that one though.
because there's like a couple of artists from AZ, made it onto the show, and then it was just like artists from wherever they were. It was mainly like a LA, New York, and South kind of demographic pool, and then they
Yeah,
just had these artists come on, and there's like maybe I think they probably spend maybe 48 hours or whatever, together, or I forget how it worked out, but essentially it's like stages and shit. They compete,
yeah,
do
yeah,
different tasks, do different tasks, and then whoever makes it out at the end essentially like got. It wasn't a contract, but it was like some bread and like an opportunity
yeah,
to perform and shit. So this dude from my
yeah.
hometown, Inglewood, his
Hey,
name is D Smoke. He won,
yes.
and I knew a lot of people from like my hometown that actually knew him and shit. So it was pretty dope to check that show out.
Nah, most definitely. I do remember that show. As soon as he said D Smoke, I was like, I think that's the show with D Smoke. Because I remember watching my sister actually put me onto that one. She put me onto that one. There was another show too. I'm trying to think of what it was, but it was for songwriters. And that was actually very inspirational. That was a nice
Oh,
little tip.
nice.
I'm trying to think of the name of it, but basically they would have like a panel of like three songwriters and then let's say a guest artist. And I
Yeah.
remember the first one I actually was watching. I want to say her was the guest artist, and they
Mm.
had three songwriters come up there and they wrote a song, and then they sang the song for her.
Oh
And then the
wow.
other songwriters, there's like four of them. They're just like, okay, this is cool, da da da. So now we're gonna pair one songwriter with one songwriter with one person, and now we're gonna remake your song, and then whichever song her likes, she's gonna take it, sing it, and do whatever she likes with it. It's part of part of her songwriting credentials. And
Yeah.
they did the whole thing live, and it was beautiful to watch.
That's
Beautiful to
crazy.
watch.
Nah, I don't think I
Yeah,
heard of that. I might have to go back and like see where I could
I'm really trying to think of
find
the
it.
name of that one. That one was definitely dope.
Damn, maybe forget what I was thinking of because I'm like about to take a little note and write that down. Um,
Now it's definitely some type of songwriting. I just remember like the songwriters were super popular. And I'm really trying to think of who they were, but I just know they were top notch. All three of them, I can see all of their faces. I can't think of any of their names, but I just know like all three of them have songs that you hear on the radio,
right,
all hit, all things that you're just like, okay, I know that, I know them, I know them.
right.
And then like even for them to just remix the song live and in person, they took the hook. They're like, okay, I like that part of the hook. Now sing that part again. Now a
Mm-hmm.
person has like a guitar and they're kind of playing with the words
Yeah,
for a second, and they kind of play with like, ooh, okay, I like that one. And then they just keep that, roll that over. All of a sudden, you see a little bit later, they have a brand new version of this lady's song, and it's completely written for her or the other
right,
artist. And it's beautiful, and it happened right in real time. It really takes you back to like the time in the studio where you do that same type of process.
right. No, that's true. And
Yeah.
it makes me think of Zill. He hopped on. I think it was like a show that Red Bull was putting on called in this cut or something like the cut or something like that, where they
Yeah.
basically took artists and then producers and then kind of paired them up in like these little random little duos. Like so, to be three different groups, 2 people in each group, one producer, one artist, and they would basically collaborate and like make a song, in like 12 hours, and then they would
Yeah.
compete the song, you know what I'm saying? And
Ooh.
they got like a music video shot for it and everything. So it was a pretty dope opportunity for them to like collab and like work with, other artists. I forget who the host was. It was like OG Parker or somebody like that, but it was just a cool look for them to be able to like connect and like work with other like producers, or artists, but also to get that video footage and like all of that. So the song that they have, it's called Teflon. It's available on like Spotify, Apple Music, and all that. But the song came out pretty dope.
I had to write that down too, especially with Zill.
Oh, nice. I think I just been hearing about that. I just seen a comment about I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, the Loom app. But I had just seen some information about that app. I don't know if you know Durka Music or Dekra Music.
Yeah. Definitely know her. That's my girl right there.
For sure, yeah. She just dropped a comment, just mentioning the app that's good for introducing up and coming artists. So I'm gonna have to look that up.
Definitely look up that one. She's definitely a great artist herself. She's out in Atlanta right now making heavy moves, meeting with a lot of people.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure we drop subscribe to her channel once we close out this stream. Also,
definitely.
Brzy on there. If you got your IG, drop that on there. We'll follow you on IG, or make sure we share it with people.
They both pulled up right here too, so whenever they can slide in.
Yeah, for sure. I'm ready whenever.
All right, for sure. Y'all want to pop in here? Definitely make up some space. Got you slide in this guy. You got it. It's all y'all.
What y'all got going on?
Man, I know Brzy is actually working on a couple things. Just released some music. I know during quarantine he had a song come out called Black in America. Banger.
Okay.
Banger. I was like, okay, Brzy, okay. That was definitely something to cut. I was like, all right, make that work.
Right.
So like I'm saying, those are just the homies that I met out here. We were just, those ones I try and run with out here in my circle.
Yeah.
So, so they definitely try to do their thing or introduce them. Bro, get in here. Say what's up, though.
What up?
Hey, what's up to the people?
Yo, what's good?
What up?
That's the homie Brzy.
Brzy, what's good?
Bro, slide in, take a seat. And the homie AD.
Hello.
What up?
Greetings.
Yeah, I just followed y'all on IG right before we kick this off, man. It's good to see y'all, bro. Appreciate y'all popping in with me.
That's pleasure.
Man, it's the squad right here, man. It's the squad. We definitely making moves out here. We trying to make sure that I Am Roots right a part of the move.
Hey, much love. I appreciate that. So I'm just gonna throw a couple questions at y'all real quick, just to kind of give the people a little bit of info on what y'all been up to, or like what y'all all about, and how we can tap in or follow y'all. So I'll start with Brzy on my left.
Okay.
Yeah, when'd you get into music, or like what's some of your inspirations for like doing music?
I'm just inspired by life, man. Honestly, just always reflecting back on what I personally been through. Trying to make it relatable to what I also know what other people going through. More like the common man. Right. Like type music is what I make. I would probably say.
Okay.
Definitely.
Who did you grow up listening to? Like, and did you grow up listening to a lot of? I mean, I'm sure it's a lot, but like just some of the stuff.
Nah, man. I was a heavy Lil Wayne fan, like everyone else in the world. But like Wayne, Jay-Z, a lot of Southern music too. It's like T.I., Jeezy, all those guys like that. Mixed in, little Wale, when I moved to the DMV. Sprinkle a little this and a little that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I listen to a lot of everything in between when it comes to music.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who would be like one of your dream collabs?
Ooh, dream collab. I mean,
this moment in time.
I mean, Weezy
right now. Yeah.
like Weezy forever, bro.
Forever.
Just to go and rap with him, just to be going like just barred it up with him.
Yeah. Just
that'd be great. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Nah, that's amazing, man. I'm gonna be sure to check out some of your music. I know Black in America. Any other like favorites of your own music that you got?
Yeah, I got this song called Recipe.
Okay.
It's a nice little joint.
Yeah.
It's a nice little bop.
It's a nice little bop.
It's a nice little
bop, bro. Yeah, definitely.
I definitely feel like a lot of people really vibe with that one. Yeah, and I have a freestyle too, that I dropped a couple months ago.
Okay.
Called Look What You Made Me Do freestyle. You should check that out as well.
Okay. Look what you made me do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
got
man.
a little YouTube video for that too. You can check that out as well.
Yo,
Nah.
is it the same as your IG? Oh no, I see you right here.
Yep,
BRZYHO. That's your
yep,
YouTube channel.
yes sir.
Hey.
So yeah, we gonna make sure we tap in with you and see what's going on, man. I love to
Definitely, I
like,
appreciate that.
see what's up with new music and like, learn the stories, bro. Cause like when it comes to music, like no one's story is identical. Everybody comes from it with like their own little perspective and energy that makes it like what it is. So it's like,
Sure.
I'm excited to see what's going on. And as you see, I got the drum machine and keyboard over here. I make music myself.
I peep that.
It's my life. So if there's anywhere we can connect or like collab, I do a lot of mixing as well. So any treatment of vocals or whatever, bro, like I would love to be a resource or both ways. If like if shit we could work together, I'm down for it.
I'm definitely down for that.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
definitely tapping into that in for sure.
Hey, you know what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying?
Yes, sir.
Cross country.
Right?
Cross country.
Connect the dots.
And then we got a fashion god in the back though.
Hey, that's my guy AD
Yes,
back
sir.
there.
Right, yeah, I was scrolling through your IG page too, bro. See a lot of like nice looks, man.
Thank
What's some
you.
of your inspiration for fashion?
Oh man, I don't know. I always, when it comes to my fashion, I always try to stick out. I always try to add a little bit of my flair here and there whenever I step out the door. I always gotta step out looking that fly at least. You never know what kind of people you come across. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, no, but my influence is just a huge variety. Like I follow a lot of artists nowadays that like honestly they're doing such amazing work right now, and I just want to expand my horizon, at least get my brain to that level where I can do that type of thing and create that type of influence in the fashion industry, because it's such a huge, it stands out so big, like it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So if I can stand out and like do my own thing and it sticks out and it makes a difference in a way, or influences how people influence me in a way to go out and do my best. Same how these people are doing to me right now.
Yep.
That's all I'm looking for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
There.
Was it something that you've been into like since you were young? Like you were always like, yo, I gotta be fresh, like
No. So I'll be honest with you. Like my mom always liked me, always dressed me well and stuff. Always took me to my haircut. So from a young age, I was always pretty clean cut.
Right.
So even now, like I really enjoy going to my barber and talking shit and all that stuff. But, like,
Yeah.
apart from that, like my fashion sense, I don't think growing up I was really fashionable. Like it was like later on once I got older and I was like, damn, like I look basic as shit. I need to change something up, right? Like,
It's my control now. I can do what I want now.
Yeah.
What I want.
I grew up, like I'm from the area here, like I guess you say the Maryland or DC area, but like I grew up in like a very small town. Like it's all I saw was farms and cows, like outside of Montgomery County. So like I didn't really get open to like good, like dope looks and stuff like that. It wasn't until like I moved out of there and moved closer to the city, and I was like, damn, I need to really like up my game a little bit.
Right? I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It's like we were saying, because like as soon as I came out here, like the opportunity to wear anything is endless. Like there's weather. So you can actually like layer up. You can wear jackets and some underneath, and like so
You're gonna need it.
You're gonna need it, because like so standing out is what he's alluding to is like it's very not necessarily lucrative, but it's influential. When you can actually stand out, it's like, okay, I see you, I see the style now. It's transparent now. Okay, that reflects onto me too. So now you try to take that into where it goes in the next. I'm like he's talking about how it influences you, how you want to move, and how it can breathe into other people, bro. You already do that, man. You're already working on
I
that.
got you.
Yeah. 100%. So are you trying to like are you looking to get into styling, or what kind of business in terms of like like for your fashion, like are you trying to create your own brand?
In a sense, for like right now, like I for one, I'm really enjoying it, like putting some styles together. I have I've worked with B a couple times. We got some shoots, and then I work with one of my really good friends. His name is BJ, super dope. And like, yo, his work is awesome. So that's most of the pictures you see me modeling on my IG.
Okay.
Most of it, he took those pics, and he does such an amazing job. But for now, bro, like as of right now, I'm just coming up with some style looks, and whenever I feel like I come up with something fire, I try to post it on the IG, get a couple people to save my looks and stuff, and a couple people reach out to me and things in there. Like things like that. But for the most part, right now, you know, I've kind of like now trying to come up with more of my own design now, so I can brand myself out there. And I'm starting like, and I haven't started anything legitimate yet. I'm just kind of bouncing ideas right now, but like that's the type of route I'm trying to head to. So coming this spring or coming this summer, I'm rocking my shit, like my own shit.
Exactly.
You know so that's like pertaining to like what's my longevity goal for at least now to go dip my feet in that.
Yeah.
Right, so you're just basically doing all the groundwork right now. You know what I'm saying? Researching,
exactly.
kind of testing out on IG.
Exactly. We've had multiple conversations about sampling things, ordering stuff so we can sample and then we can adjust on the fly and, you know, we can correct it as it goes. So all that's just like a testing, you know, process. And he's getting a chance to really just see it like in live and in person and really build that foundation.
And I'm really trying to pick on B's brand because, you know, he has experience, you know, working with the fashion shows down in Arizona.
Right,
so, like, you know, I really want to pick his brain in the sense of like what steps to approach and what proper steps to do. So, you know, he has experience, so, you know.
Right, for sure, man. I've always seen him manipulating garments, you know, just like or ripping the sleeves off of this and like repurposing stuff for sure. So
definitely,
that'll be a dope connection there, and just like, you know, just that world is always especially where you guys are on the East Coast with the seasons and stuff like that. Like, it's just a lot to play around with and experiment with. So, you know, I wish y'all luck in 2020, man, coming up with some dope stuff.
2021.
Exactly, bro. We recapping 2020. Good luck in 2021 as we, you know, just try to manifest just like dope things, you know, for ourselves, and just, you know, like you said, you just focusing on like what you want to do long term. And I think it's dope that you're taking the time to just experiment now, you know what I'm saying? Like, try out different looks, see if you can get people to save it, and like, you know, like hit those little goals so that you could build up momentum, and then you know, when you're ready, you could just do what you want.
Exactly. It's already got to run and start.
Yeah. So I don't know if y'all was like in the background when we were talking about any of like the shows or the music, but from an entertainment perspective, was there anything that like stood out for y'all throughout the year? Just in terms of like anything y'all saw on TV, any movie, any song that was just like, yo, I played this song way too much this year. You know, anything like
Man, I don't know, man. That Little Baby album, I played that joint a lot. Like a lot. But I played that album a lot, man. That's definitely one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, sir, it went hard.
I don't know, man. I've been deep in my R&B game, bro. Like, these R&B projects been killing me this year, bro.
Give me on.
The project was really good, but like that Division album, I like pranked that all beginning of the year. Like that Division album was pretty good.
Yeah.
But that's like, yeah, I've been deep in my R&B game.
Myself included.
Yep.
I listened to that album this week 3 times.
Just cause,
man. That album was so complete.
Yeah,
so good.
Which one? The Division one?
No, the Sir album.
I was gonna bring that one up. Yep, Chasing Summers.
Oh my god, that was so good.
I think I played like that John Redcorn song way too much, bro. Like,
right? Oh, that one is one up.
Yeah, for sure.
That music video is pretty dope too.
Right? Yeah, and I heard the guy.
It's like a King of the Hill type thing.
I heard the folks from King of the Hill actually hit them up too, and it's like giving them props because they, you know.
Really?
Yeah, so I know that was a big accomplishment for him, you know, especially like doing something like that to get the actual creators to hit you up like, yo, we rock with what y'all did here. So
yeah, that's it right there.
Who y'all got sports teams for basketball, football, anything like that?
I don't, but I really into sports like that.
I'm more into more of the local teams. Like I'll support the Wizards, the Washington football team type thing. But like to say die hard, I'm more of a soccer fan.
Okay.
So I watch a lot of European soccer, like a shit ton of European soccer.
Okay. Hell yeah. So how's that been? Because like we didn't talk about that when we were just talking about sports, about like how the soccer, you know, space has been all changed up a bit given what's going on.
So they had a little bit of a break, a couple months in, kind of like everywhere else, and then like it all started in Germany, and Germany started playing little teams here and there. But once like little outbreaks here and there would pop off, they will immediately shut it down. Like just recently in England, they started allowing 2,000 people in their stadiums.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like they're getting there like little by little, but like just like everywhere else, it's like it's still pretty high. Like
yeah.
Are you would you say you notice any difference in like the players, like either just like the energy that
Oh
they
yeah,
play
for sure.
with, or
Because you have big time players that people all over the world go to see that specific player, and to think like you have big games coming up, and to think that you can't even celebrate with fans, and even like the biggest players saying that like they miss being like booed at because like they just add a little bit more of an intensity, like what?
Yeah.
So like they just miss the fans and just kind of like you have to remember these stadiums hold about 50,000 people,
right?
and they're full all the time. So
Yeah.
like so it's definitely the passion's still there, but it's definitely different.
Nah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, because just hearing the other team, I bet is just like weird. You know, usually you just got crowd noise, just normal noise of the stadium, but now you can hear just random, if it's football or whatever, random play calls from across the field, or just some
Yeah.
little stuff that's not necessarily noticeable that you could just hear because the silence of the area.
Yeah.
But man, do I miss sitting in sports, like in a sports stadium, bro. Just like sitting there in the atmosphere.
Right.
Damn.
You know.
Even looking forward, like even thinking like, yo, are we ever gonna be in a concert?
Like,
Like
right?
sit in a room and like actually seeing an artist in front of you, like is that gonna be a thing later on? It's kind of hard to even look forward to that right now,
Yeah.
especially how times are.
Right, which made me think of a question for Brzy. Like when it comes to like music, doing your music and everything. How's that been impacted? Because I'm sure maybe you were hitting like some shows, getting your rapping here and there, hitting some open mics or some showcases. Like what's been your switch up? Since the shows ain't really a thing right now.
Switch up. Well, we just been like, so my guys here, they was like helping me come up with like some other ideas, like live, like some possible live streams, like those type of gigs, live stream performances. Just trying to get more visuals out, like get more video shots visually, have the visual presence. Try to be more active on social medias a little more, since you can't really, it's about the max you can do these days.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Outside of like really going anywhere. But just trying to put in more work to just to be out there, to feel my presence, whether it be a visual, whether it be dropping a new song, a new snippet, just being more active, just openly just being out there to see that I'm still working. And, you just never know. Just keep recording, keep music loaded up. You never know when the opportunity comes.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. And speaking of keeping music loaded up, are you of the mind of like wanting to drop like singles periodically, or are you more interested in like, trying to roll out a project? So say you got, your 15, whatever tracks you got, you drop a couple tracks as a single and then, everybody, boom, here comes the album. Or are you more like, I'm gonna just drop all these songs as singles and, and see how they do?
So like as of late, what I did last year, I just dropped singles, go to record something cool, drop it like that. But like I'm planning on dropping an EP in March.
Okay.
So that's my goal right now. So like I'm just trying to like pick what vibe, what sound I want to stick to, like for the project right now. But like I have a lot of music. Not like recorded in the studio, but just like a whole bunch of rough drafts of different things. So I'm just trying to just narrow the sound down. Like honestly, try to figure out which one I want to take that way. But yeah, I try to write like every day, be creative every day, keep the brain working.
Most definitely. That's good. That's what's up.
Oh yeah, no, that's the mentality, man. Because it's only so much you can do, but it's just like just focusing up on, what's important to whatever you're trying to put out, And I think you got the right mindset. Like, focus on what sound I'm trying to go with, and then just like prepare, the people for what's about to come, and then you can pretty much just build on it from there. Because people at home right now, more than likely they chilling, they looking forward to it. So as long as you put the work into the quality, you should definitely have their attention. And I know I'll be looking forward to it. I'm obviously go back and listen to the old shit, but like by the time I'm done, I'll be ready for it.
I appreciate it. That's love.
Oh man, no, that's definitely dope. It's just that's why I feel like 2021 is a nice chance for all of us to be able to apply everything we've kind of learned, everything we kind of had that chance to really sit down and take into perspective. Where we got a chance to do now is really apply and activate the things that we learned in the situations that we grew from. I think is now you take that moving forward, because now we're in that forward. So go ahead and utilize and act in it.
Right. No, that's very true. And I want to touch on just affirmations and messages and just kind of energy that we want to take into 2021. But I do want to touch on real quick a little bit. Did y'all check out the Tyson and even if it's just highlights, Tyson and Roy Jones and any of the chaos from that night?
Yes.
It's
Oh
like,
my goodness.
Yo, you still can't pay me any amount of money to go in front of Tyson though.
No.
I don't care how old he
Straight up,
is.
like,
He just need one opportunity, like, and
just one.
That left hook is just nasty.
That left hook.
and you know, Roy
But
was
like
in that
all of it
mood.
was just wild. I don't know who let Nate go in that ring though. I do know that. Like don't like that was one time where Twitter just got in the way and
Right.
you should have just
You did too much.
Like I understand you want to protect and you want to stand and protect your word, defend your word.
He got baited.
He got baited. He got
baited.
baited. His publicist and
sure.
bruh.
Because that dude, he was ready. Like, you know,
He was ready.
obviously it's something that he's committed his life to. You know, this part of his life, he's trying to get into that mode. You know, Nate is a retired hooper. Like, you know, used to be dunk contest champ. Like, you could have just, you know, went out as a news analyst, bro, and life would have been great. Like,
It would have been great.
Wow.
Now all the time I look at you sleep.
You know,
Like, dang it, man.
sitting there contemplating, should I come back and try to redeem myself? Nah.
No.
No. But there is a homegirl out there. I forget her name. She is a champion boxer. And she said she would actually step in the ring against him. And I would so love to see. I forget her name. She is like a belt holding champion. She said, I'll make weight, all of it, whatever we gotta do. And I'm just like, yes. And if I can find her name, I'm definitely throwing that out there because she was definitely with it. She be with the shit. She like hit me, I'm gonna hit you back type joint. And I'm like, yes.
Yes, sir. Right? Yeah. No, that was just crazy, man. Like, you know, I don't know what I expected, to be honest. Like, I watched a little weigh in and stuff. I'm like, man, the size difference is real, but. You know, maybe he been training since July. Like, maybe, you never know. But
all he needs one good hit, right?
Yeah, nah, he went in there like he was fighting on the street, bro. And
that was a whole nother thing. Who trained you?
Yeah,
like,
you can't just be out there. Nah, that was funny. But, yeah, man. Any lessons, like any big lessons y'all learned in 2020? Just like either, you know, personal lessons, or maybe you learned how to do a new skill or something. Like, yo, I learned how to get down in After Effects. Like me, I just been taking, you know, throughout the end of 2020, I was like going on YouTube every day and just learning how to do a different thing in After Effects, Adobe After Effects, to, you know, mess around with my videos and stuff.
Yeah.
What do you do? Oh man.
Lessons? I don't know necessarily about lessons, but like I know it changed like my perspective on life.
Yeah.
And not to be cliche about life is short and all like stuff like that, but it's just like you know, at the top of the year, everybody rolled into from 2019 to 2020. Everybody's like, yo, 2020 is my year. And literally every human being
Right.
and the entire planet was saying this. And, you know, and then March comes in 2020 and that's it. Like literally the world paused. Like the entire world came to a pause, like because of a virus. And meanwhile, you know, everybody's, you know, sometimes we just put stuff off tomorrow, later.
Right.
And then later gets here. Do it later isn't later anymore. Later is now, and the now is just stretched out. Like, literally the world was paused in the same spot for like a long time, you know. So it's like, yo, you just gotta get at the stuff. Whatever you want in life, you just gotta go get it. You can't keep questioning everything and like waiting for the right time. There isn't really a right time for anything. You just gotta do it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You figure out another way to get it done. But it ain't just time and just going for it. Whatever you want in life, you just shoot from the hip.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go off of what Ty said. I think definitely different change of perspective, going from like what was happening in 2019 to coming like you said, the world at a pause. But like I also felt like this year I really appreciate a lot of the people that I do have in my life in a sense, because, you know, a lot of people lost a lot of loved ones. Like, you know what I'm saying? That mad people are struggling. Like I can sit here and say like I'm blessed that like, you know, I was able to kind of keep me moving and stuff and able to do everything I could throughout the year, you know, without no struggle. You know, it was a huge blessing. And saying that like I still got a lot of, you know, I didn't lose. Look, God bless that I didn't lose any family members to the virus or anything like that. So that to me was a big thing, because I know people that lost many family members. So like, it definitely allowed me to like change perspective of like, you know, kind of keep those people that you truly love close, because you never know tomorrow's ever promised.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. I could definitely piggyback off of what everything that they were just saying. Being able to elongate that now, because now is definitely now, and it's always been now. I'm saying there's things you can plan for in the future, but
Mm-hmm.
as far as that coming to fruition, is luck at some point. But I know personally one lesson learned, or at least something I've really taken a hold of, this year, or at least last year in 2020, was in a sense of like ownership in my own personal happiness, and being able to like seek for that and be able to just like do things that make me happy, and really try and exude that that energy to other people, and to really pursue that for others as well. It's just like do things that make you happy, and really try and lean in towards that, things that are going to be better, things that that you're passionate about, or things where it's just it feels right. I'm really just trying to just personally just lean into that and grab a hold of it, and not necessarily you know double think about it, overthink about it, or trying to make sure for the right time or this or that, and really just take a hold of that. And like I said, just kind of elongate that now, and step into it, lean into it forward, versus waiting for that opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, that's real, man. That's real.
What for you, bro? What about for you? I mean, any lessons? I know I would love to have these conversations offline, but I mean,
Yeah.
what's been going on with you?
Right. Yeah. Honestly, man, a lot has been just like just patience, honestly. Just learning.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been pretty good at being patient, but just understanding, like, for me, like as he was saying, like coming into 2020, I, like everybody else, was like, yo, this my year. Like, I'm about to go
Yeah.
crazy, get these grants, and like and really build and like kind of get creative with it. But when everything slowed down, like I did, like we were talking about earlier, have a lot of thoughts about, like, all right, now that things have slowed down, I can approach it this way. I'm about to do X, Y, and Z. So I was still
Yeah.
pretty like hopeful, but I still just reshifted like my focus, and then just had more goals to go attack. But at the end of the day, it's just like sometimes, like, I realize, or some days more so, I realize like, yo, I just need to, just relax a bit and focus up on
Yeah.
my own personal feelings, and like kind of internalizing and taking inventory on actually how I feel about like what's been going on, either with my business or like in my personal life. So when it comes to like the music, I was just like, back before everything, I was just like making beats and like curating events, and just like, as we talked about, on go mode, and
Straight up.
I
I know
just
that
like, the
mode.
biggest thing that stood out for me was just like, just practicing a bit more patience, and not trying to rush, like, or feel like I need to rush all these
Yeah.
ideas that I have, because it's like, yo,
Yeah.
things are slowed down, like I can really try to get it and grind during quarantine, and I was like trying to smash like mad things into like my day that I didn't, need to, or
Yeah.
just applying additional pressure on myself, for no reason, when I could just, just maybe set a plan and kind of just like go at it in steps, just because I
Yeah.
felt like since the world was slowing down, this was my time to speed up, and in
Love
reality,
that.
I just needed to take inventory on like myself, and like how I was feeling, like, and also how I've been feeling about like the last few years, because when I'm
Yeah,
in the
man.
run of the shows and stuff, like even after a show, sometimes like I'll just, like, I don't take too much time to appreciate either the success or like whatever it was of the night. You know what I'm saying? I'm usually like thinking about how many people came through the door, how many tickets were sold, how much did we have to pay up front. Like, I never really stopped to smell like, yo, at least people are here, they're appreciating it. Like, got
Mhm.
tons of good reviews. Like, maybe it didn't sell out, but like the perspective, like, that the guests had of the night. They're like, yo, this was an amazing night. Like, if
It was
people
on
are
point.
leaving thinking that, then I should appreciate that, instead of
Yeah.
thinking, man, more people should have had that feeling. Like, just appreciate who pulled up, who showed love, and then build
Yeah.
from those moments, where during this time I just had plenty of time to look back at the shows and think like, yo, they weren't exactly how I wanted them, but like they happened, and they were memories for people. A lot of people constantly talk about how the brand has helped them like take their craft a little more seriously. They would come to
Yeah.
the open mics as just like little writers. They didn't care. Like, yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I'll share some poetry, I'll do this, I'll do that. But now they're like branding themselves and trying to like do it like all the way, which is
Yeah.
something that's real inspiring for me. Having that time to think back, like, yo, we really touched the lives of a number of artists in the community, that rock with us. So that was something for me that really stood out, was patience. And then Yeah, no, just the self-care thing. So we all kind of really like in a similar boat, man. Just taking
Yeah.
care of self and the things that are important. Just like tapping in with the family back in LA. And just like making sure that things are good, cuz like even 2019 wasn't like the best of years. I was ready to get up out of there cuz like we lost like Nipsey Hussle and just plenty of other just like greats in the
Yeah.
community. So it's just been I've learned to adapt to bad news as well. Like 2020 has been just like,
Right.
tons of adapting to like news that you don't want to hear, and just
Right. For real
finding
though.
some way to like balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely 100%. Yeah, we all kind of went through that. And it was just waves, like I said, it was just waves of just emotions and trending things and experiences. We were all just taking in as a whole together. It's just, yeah, it was definitely a whole thing. It was definitely a whole thing.
Right, right. And as we
We
were talking
made it
about
though.
earlier, like a little gift and a curse, if you will, because it just, slowed the world down. Lives were lost.
Mm-hmm.
But for those that were able to remain healthy, I feel like they definitely were able to gain perspective and kind of figure
Yeah.
out like, what's important, which way, should I be moving, and kind of and looking at it that way. And then we got a comment from Dekra saying that 2020 was her year in a way, in what some of the most unexpected ways. So maybe she'll drop
Yeah.
a comment and let us know like ways that she succeeded in 2020, because a lot of people did have great years, even though the year as we categorize it was like a rough and interesting year in terms of like the death around death and
Yeah.
politics and the election, that craziness. But for some
Yeah.
people, they definitely were able to flourish in the year and like either build a brand, a little online brand, or start something up
There was definitely some
online.
good in there. There was definitely some good
For
in there.
sure.
I feel like that's where you're kind of leading to. Like people definitely had a chance, opportunity to appreciate those wins and really go into their bag and be like, okay, we actually do have some things happening for us, and really started to become, in tune with what those were. I was telling them at the beginning of the year, I was sleeping on the floor at my sister's crib across the country. But now
Right,
I got my own spot. I got some good group of homies.
right,
We ready to take off. We ready to make it happen, and I have everything I need. And I feel like, without 2021 in that situation happening, maybe it wouldn't align like this. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. But I feel
right.
like I'm somewhat beneficial for it going down like that.
Yeah,
I
for
didn't
sure,
say I couldn't deny about it.
for sure. And it's
20,
always good to be present. Oh, my bad. What you saying?
there you go, bro. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's good to be present, like in the moment, and just like really appreciate the things that are like going on and happening
Sure.
for us, good or bad. It's like if it's bad, then I'm present in that moment. Like, what can I be learning from this? Like, in what ways can I be
Yeah.
better? How can I avoid, either making the same mistakes or like putting myself in that kind of position? Like, I always find myself, just like appreciating whatever moments that I'm in and finding ways
Yeah.
to just learn from it, because I can't control like everything, so just whatever I
Exactly.
can control, I treat it with, respect and honor. And the things that I can't, I just learn to balance. Like if it's a negative thing, just find the balance in like not being too down about it. But even
Yeah.
if it's a positive thing, I don't try to hang my head on that either. It's just like, just hoping that all these positive things are gonna happen that are out of my control. It's just like if they come, I appreciate it. If they don't, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm definitely attracting whatever I can, every good, every positive thing
Yes,
for
sir.
me, my people, everyone that I come in contact with. I'm definitely breeding. I'm trying to exude as much positivity and as much blessings, as I can.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely trying to be on that for sure. Definitely trying to get in tune with that again.
Right, right. Nah, that's true. That's true. Is there before we get up out of here, man? Is there any like little last minute things you want to share? Anything upcoming that you either want to let us know about, or that maybe something that you manifesting that we
I
can send you
mean,
prayers and good energy for?
personally, personally, your boy stay on go mode. You,
Right,
you know that. Definitely
right,
on go
right.
mode. Me and the homies we've definitely been cooking up like a nice little platform site where we can actually sell a couple different some merchandise things, but we're kind of like on an exclusivity basis.
Mm,
Is where it's just kind of like a nice run of 10 to 20 items.
okay.
And then we're kind of, they can be more like style influence and really more art influenced, and not necessarily where it's just kind of like, we need stock inventory or things of that nature. So we kind of get a chance to really build out either whether it's momentum or at least be able to be free with how we
Right.
express our feelings and whatnot, and be able to be in tune with others. But we're working on a website where people can actually tap in and really purchase some merchandise from that. But
Okay.
I know personally one of my goals is I know I want to sell some more photography online this year.
Right,
I want to
right.
see some nice big pictures up on people's walls and all of
Yeah.
that. So I'm definitely trying to set up that right there. Make sure that's,
Especially now that you got all those colors to work with.
man, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tap into that. I'm trying to tap in. So I definitely know that's what's on my plate this year for sure. Like I said, I'm trying to lean into that. So I'm trying to manifest as much as possible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I'm hoping that happens. You know what I'm saying? And anything that I could do over here, just let me know. I'm always
Oh,
down to put in work.
hey, reciprocal, bro.
Yo, I'm trying to come to one of them open mics one day, bro.
Hey,
Right?
hey.
Yes, sir. Right? Yeah.
Hop on the plane real quick.
I'm trying to tell him, bro. I'm trying to tell him to the West.
Right, for sure, bro. Yeah, as soon as things are up, man, like we definitely got plots on just some real dope nights, some real exclusive nights where people can really like get to know the artist, because that's a big thing for us is like don't just pull up and perform, like pull up and connect, you know what I'm saying, and like plug into whoever's out here. So
yeah,
yes, sir.
Most
I
definitely.
can definitely think that.
Right.
Yeah, anything that y'all got going that y'all trying to manifest?
Well, like I said, like I was kind of like going on earlier today, I really want to kind of put something together where I can see myself like putting down like at least a little project for the spring or summer to see, so I can see some people rocking my gear, something that can stick out, when I walk out, to a farmer's market and I see somebody, I'm like, yo, that's my shirt right there. I want to be able to say that.
Right.
So I want to be able to say that this year, to be able to see people wearing my shit, and then I'd be like, yo, that's my shit.
Yes, okay, yes, sir. Well, shit. I'll definitely be on the site when it's up, man, and trying to get me something before it's sold out.
It's definitely gonna be exclusive, but we're gonna make sure it's like hand quality or like high quality, but like handmade. That's gonna hit.
Okay, hell yeah, for sure, man. And for me, man, I'm just hoping to just continue to grow, man, as a person, as a human. Get better with my music and my poetry, and just continue to shed light. And I'm hoping to just connect with a lot more artists, and figure out how I could tap in with either their production, because like that's really what I love to do. Is I love to be a part of production. If we curating events, if we curating a project, just all those things. I really like being in the parts that aren't so fun, or more so the parts that the world don't see. The world sees the end result, and I like to be a part of like, I like to be a part of the process. So that's kind of why I go with the whole I am root and the whole Dom root mantras, because the roots are, beneath the soil, and they doing all that dirty work, so that y'all can see the beautiful trees and flowers and branches or whatever. But so that's just like more in line with my personality. I just want to get better at that and just find more people to connect with, because the past few years I just been in my immediate circle and folks that come around to the open mics I meet and I can connect with, and it's been a great pool of just like way of finding people locally, but given like this whole quarantine thing, man, I've been really like making efforts to reach out digitally to people that aren't, nowhere near me. It's just East Coast, South, just all over the place, just trying to find ways to be a part of people's production processes, or just tap into what they got going on, like learn more about their music or their stories or whatever. So that's the space that I'm in.
Nah, most def. That's where it's a good place to be for 2021.
Yes, sir. So pretty much what I'm gonna do now then is I'm gonna transition us, and then I'm gonna kind of let people know about the next like interview that we got set up and some updates and stuff. So I'm gonna switch up the screen and mute us up real quick.
Cool.
All right, everybody. Thank y'all for checking out my interview with MyBoyB, Brzy Ho. We had Amara in there. Definitely lovely chatting with those dudes, man. And just talking about 2020, the year that it was. And real quick, I want to let y'all know that next week on Sunday, I got an interview with official B Hunt, who's a fashion designer that we knew out here in AZ, currently in Dallas, Texas, doing his thing. So we're looking forward to that interview and hoping, that y'all enjoy the conversation. We're pretty much just going to tap in talking about fashion, music, entrepreneurship, and, life now that he's moved from AZ out to Dallas, kind of how the business has been like going and, doing well. So again, I want to thank you all for tapping in with Culture Convos. I'm Dom Root. And I chatted with my boy B, wrapping up 2020. 2020 was a very interesting year, and we're looking forward to 2021. Just more growth, more love, more connection, and yeah, that's about it, guys. I'm gonna end the stream here. Be sure to drop a comment, subscribe to our channel, show some love to our guests for today, Brzy and Amira. Got their IGs on here as well, so you'll be able to tap in with them on IG, and then you can get tapped into their YouTube channel and other platforms that they may have. I'm sure that we'll be doing some work with them in the near future, so hopefully you'll see them either at a future open mic, or you'll see me rocking one of Amira's new garments that he's about to put out, and we just want to keep this growing and keep it going. So again, thank you guys for continuing to rock with us, and have a good, what is it, Sunday? Yeah, enjoy your rest of your evening, and then if y'all got work tomorrow, man, good luck at work. Back to the grind.